Welcome to Dark Tale Shorts 101, where every shadow has a story to tell. The stories shared on this channel are inspired by real people, real experiences, folklore, personal encounters, and terrifying accounts from individuals around the world. While our narration is brought to life using AI voice technology to create a more cinematic experience, the stories themselves are inspired by human experiences, cultural legends, paranormal encounters, and the kind of unexplained events that stay with people for the rest of their lives. Most of our stories are kept under 10 minutes because we believe true personal encounters are often short, direct, and unforgettable. Anything much longer can begin to feel less like a real experience and more like a novel. Our focus is on short, immersive storytelling that feels raw, personal, and unsettling. From haunted lakes and wandering spirits to unexplained creatures and eerie mysteries, each story is meant to pull you into the darkness and leave you wondering what may truly be out there. If you enjoy creepy storytelling, paranormal encounters, and short horror tales, please like, subscribe, and join us here at Dark Tale Shorts 101. Because sometimes, the scariest stories are the ones people swear really happened. Before we begin, tonight's story is called The Shadow That Laid on Me. We would also like to thank those who share their personal stories with us. Without them, we would not have the opportunity to bring these chilling experiences to you. The Shadow That Laid on Me. I never used to believe in things like this. Ghosts, spirits, shadow people. I always thought those were just stories people told late at night to scare each other. Stories passed down by family members, friends, or elders who claimed they saw something they could not explain. But after what happened to me, I don't laugh at those stories anymore. Because sometimes the things people say they saw are real. And sometimes they come into your room. I remember that night clearly, even though I wish I could forget it. It was late, very late. The house was quiet in that heavy kind of way, where every small sound feels louder than it should. There was no wind outside. No cars passing by, no footsteps, no voices, just silence. I had gone to bed like any other night. Nothing strange had happened earlier that day. I wasn't watching anything scary. I wasn't talking about spirits, ghosts, or anything paranormal. It was just a normal night. At least, that's what I thought. I remember lying in bed, somewhere between asleep and awake. My room was dark, but not completely black. There was just enough light coming through the window for me to see the shape of my dresser, the corner of the wall, and the outline of my door. Everything looked normal. Then suddenly, I woke up. Not slowly. Not like when you wake up and turn over. I woke up instantly. My eyes opened, and right away, I knew something was wrong. The room felt different. The air felt heavier. It was like the entire room had changed while I was sleeping. I could not explain it, but I felt pressure around me, like something had entered the room and brought a darkness with it. I tried to move, but I couldn't. At first, I thought maybe I was just too tired. Maybe my body was still half asleep. I tried to lift my arm. Nothing. I tried to turn my head. Nothing. Then I tried to speak, but no sound came out. That was when fear started crawling into my chest. I was awake. I knew I was awake. I could see my room. I could hear my own breathing, but my body would not move. Then, I saw it. Near the doorway. A dark figure. At first, I thought it was just a shadow from the hallway. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. Maybe it was clothes hanging on something. Maybe it was just the darkness forming a shape. But then, it moved. Slowly, it stepped into my room. My heart started pounding so hard I could feel it beating in my throat. The figure was tall, dark, completely black. Not like a person wearing black clothes. It was darker than the darkness around it. It had the shape of a human body, but there were no details. No face, no eyes, no mouth. Just a black shadow in the shape of a person. And it was standing there, looking at me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to call for help. But I couldn't even open my mouth. All I could do was stare. The figure moved closer. Slowly, one step at a time. There was no sound when it walked. No floor creaking. No breathing. Nothing. It moved like it did not belong to this world. I remember thinking, please don't come closer. But it did. It came to the side of my bed, and then it stopped. For a moment, it just stood there beside me. I could feel it. I don't know how else to explain it. I could feel that something was there. The air around my bed became colder. My chest felt tight. My skin started to tingle. Then the shadow leaned over me. I tried harder to move. I tried to shake my body. I tried to force my arms up. But I was trapped. Then, without warning, it climbed onto the bed. My whole body froze even more. The mattress sank. I felt it. I actually felt the bed move under its weight. That was when I knew this was not just a dream. The dark figure lowered itself over me and laid directly on top of my body. The pressure hit me all at once. It felt like something heavy was pressing down on my chest, my stomach, my arms, and my legs. I could barely breathe. Every breath felt small and weak, like something was squeezing the air out of me. I could feel its weight. I could feel its presence. But when I looked at it, all I saw was darkness. Its face was right above mine. There were no eyes. But somehow, I knew it was staring at me. I felt trapped underneath it. Helpless. Powerless. Like it wanted me to know I could not fight back. I tried to pray in my mind. I tried to say anything. But even my thoughts felt slow, like fear had taken over everything inside me. The pressure became stronger. My chest hurt. I remember thinking, this is how I'm going to die. And the worst part was, I could not do anything. I could not scream. I could not move. I could not push it away. All I could do was lie there while this dark thing pressed down on me. Then I started fighting with everything I had left. Not with my body, but inside my mind. I kept telling myself, move, move, move. I focused on my fingers. Just one finger. I tried to move it. Nothing. I tried again. Still nothing. The shadow stayed on top of me. The room felt colder. The darkness around it felt alive. Then finally, my finger twitched. Just a little. The moment that happened, it felt like something broke. I forced my hand to move. Then my arm. Then my whole body jerked. And suddenly, I could breathe again. The pressure lifted. The shadow was gone. Just like that. Gone. I sat up in bed, gasping for air. My heart was racing. My body was covered in sweat. I looked around the room, expecting to see it standing in the corner or by the door. But there was nothing. The room was quiet again. The doorway was empty. The shadows were normal. But I knew what I had seen. I knew what I had felt. I stayed sitting up for a long time that night. I didn't want to lie back down. I didn't want to close my eyes. Every dark corner of the room felt like it was hiding something. I kept looking toward the doorway, waiting, listening, wondering if it would come back. Eventually, morning came. Sunlight entered the room, and everything looked normal again. The bed, the walls, the door, the floor. But I didn't feel normal, because something had come into my room that night. Something dark. Something that knew I was awake. Something that climbed onto my bed and laid on top of me. Some people might say it was sleep paralysis. Maybe that is the easiest explanation. Maybe that is what people tell themselves so they can sleep at night. But I know what I felt. I felt the mattress sink. I felt the cold air. I felt the weight on my body. And even today, whenever I wake up in the middle of the night and the room feels too quiet, I look toward the doorway, because part of me is still afraid. That one night, that dark shadow figure will come back. Thank you for listening to tonight's story. If this tale gave you chills, made you think, or left you wondering what may be hiding in the dark, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Dark Tale Shorts 101. Your support helps this channel grow and allows us to continue sharing short horror stories, paranormal encounters, and terrifying experiences inspired by real people, real fears, and the mysteries we still cannot explain. Until the next story, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, some shadows are never truly empty.